Getting to grow up here, there's a lot of outdoor recreation land. Those places were special to me, I think because of the nature and the peace that they brought. Just being outside with the trees, all the greenery, lots of animals, water flowing nearby. I think it was just really calming and relaxing.
As a child, we did a lot of stuff outside, obviously. A lot of times we're up on the mountainside. We would look for monarchs and different butterflies. And I remember those nights where we would stay out the night before first day of trout, and we would sit along the towpath and camp out.
We were outside all of the time. As I got older, we would travel to the Quakegate Creek. But beyond that, there was some beautiful forest areas. And we used to build forts, believe it or not, and just spend time out in the woods.
The Pocono Mountains is the birthplace to a Pocono wonderland of untold pleasure.
Winter in the Poconos is clear and crisp.
Called the land of the waterfall.
A recipe for romance.
I'm one of many generations of Kemmerers that lived in Carbon County. I remember going to my grandfather's farm up in Jim Thorpe. As I got older and I experienced working in other states, I realized how special Carbon County was.
At Muhlenberg College, I studied environmental science and sustainability, and I learned about our natural world and how it really benefits us, and also that different people have different access to these natural resources that I love to enjoy. So I think learning that I could make it more accessible as the area gets more visitors was something I really had a passion for.
I worked for the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, so I knew what Monroe County had done with their open space program. So I had the background and the contacts to begin that journey, created a campaign committee, and we just cast the net very widely. We went to every community organization we could think of. It passed by almost 83%, the highest ever in the state of Pennsylvania. So that told the county commissioners that the majority of the electorate wants to borrow this $10 million, wants to preserve farmland, and wants to preserve open space.
My role as the open space coordinator is to administer the open space grant program, and the Open Space Advisory Board, they recommend projects to be funded by the open space grant program. So I kind of take them the applications that are submitted for a grant, and they recommend those to the commissioners, and I'm the one who communicates what they recommend to the commissioners.
On the open space program, we have criteria, and the bond language on that November 22 election specifically highlighted water quality, working farms, wildlife, and habitat. That's how we evaluate the highest conservation value property. As far as projects we've completed, the first one was 72 acres on the Kittatinny Ridge. It's an important bird area and has been a priority. And we're working on another property with Lehighton Water Authority.
Anna and I visited the one up in Jim Thorpe, Water Authority land. We went and visited the stuff in East Penn. So I think that one of the most important things is setting eyes on the land and seeing that it makes sense to save. I'm proud of both of them. They both fit the needs of saving. And I think that the main thing about the Jim Thorpe property is it was so close to the area that my grandparents lived and my dad lived as a child.
Land preservation is really important to me because our natural environment provides benefits to us as human organisms that we don't always realize and we might take for granted. And the development pressures just in general around the world and around the country and in our area can threaten that. We just don't want to blink our eyes and in a few years all of our old growth trees are gone and we don't have the forest that we used to, and we lose that source of recreation. So By prioritizing open space preservation and smart, thought-out development growth, we can help protect the environment that we love to enjoy and still grow to provide housing for everyone.
We want to protect the highest conservation value land, and we really don't want to see any degrading of the environment that we have. Carbon County is blessed with many beautiful trout streams, of course the Lehigh River, and we're looking to create connectivity with other public lands. And we want to see that environment maintained intact and that development occur, but then done in a respectful way with the natural environment.
With the zoning of each township, we're sort of limited as to where the growth is going to go. And being in a role of a supervisor, you find out real quick that everybody believes that you hold that key to the future of the township. So anything that comes in, I think about it, deeply. And I think that as long as we stick to the areas that we want growth and not impede on the areas that we want to make sure stay agricultural, I think we're going to be in good shape in Carbon County. I want to make sure that our ag areas are saved and preserved if possible for perpetuity.